On the trade data, $15 billion of exports just went out the window kind of thing. Chamber's quite worried.
Look, the global economy is slowing. We all know that, and that has implications for Canada. We're a trading nation. The core strategy of this government is to diversify our economy, build our economy at home. You don't want to make too much of one piece of data, but there's lots of indicators underneath that the strategy that we're pursuing to build the Canadian economy, to be masters in our own home, to have one Canadian economy out of 13, to diversify our trading partners, that's the right strategy for Canada.
Oh, I'm going to be keeping it real today. The Canadian economy is straight up imploding. $15 billion just goes poof. And get this, this is only in 1 month. The month of April saw the single largest drop in trade in Canadian history. Exports to our largest customer, the United States, is straight up collapsing. We saw this coming. We knew this was going to come, but our government chose power over preparation. Mark Carney is not the savior that he says he is. His arrogance is in full display. A reporter asked, what about the $15 billion disaster we just saw? Oh, it's nothing. That's just one data set. We're building one economy instead of 13. Oh yeah, and we're offering 1% tax cut to Canadians, which results in $33 per month in savings when our mortgages are over $3,000 a month. And if you try to buy a piece of steak, that's going to set you back $45. We're not getting saved by his 1% tax cut and removing the carbon tax, a tax that the Liberal government imposed on us, crippling us for years. Just removing that, yeah, that's great, but it is not what we need right now. What we need is for the Liberal government to move away from their green agenda that they keep ramming down our throats. We don't want the green agenda. The green agenda is going to be devastating to us. We have to rapidly develop our natural resources in order for us to be prosperous again. That's right. And what does Mark Carney offer us? Decarbonize oil. Decarbonized barrels. So working alongside forms of decarbonization for those barrels. That is decarbonize oil. Like that's going to solve a freaking thing. And how do we know they're not serious about saving us Canadians and our jobs? In just a week, they're going to be going on a prolonged summer holiday during the biggest crisis in Canadian history. They care more about their steaks that they could afford, slapping it on the grill and enjoying that summer weather. Oh, so sweet.
Good news, kids. You can take a summer fun time vacation where you're locked in a car for 10 consecutive days, nonstop with no bathroom breaks, and the Conservatives have a plan for you to have that summertime fun. And the cost? Give up the future of the planet, right? Don't worry, kids, about climate change. Don't worry about taking action on the planet. Enjoy your 10 hours in the car and let the planet burn.
While us Canadians are sitting there, what's the plan, Liberal government? Summer holidays. And we knew they wouldn't be the great option. They're the ones that exploded our national deficit, doubling it in a short period of 9 years. Then insiders within the Liberal government said, don't bring in all of these immigrants because it's going to crush us, cause our housing crisis to get even more severe. And they did not listen to their own internal advice and just flooded this country with more people than we could handle. And they all did this to cut our wages of Canadian citizens, to give us even lower wages and undercut the market. And now our Canadian youth, there's 15 to 16% of our Canadian youth are unemployed today. They're unable to find a job during the summer holidays while our politicians are on summer break. And our economic prosperity is non-existent. Our GDP per capita is all the way back to what it was in 2014. We have had a lost decade in Canada. And this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This has all been provided to you by our wonderful Liberal government. In this video, I'm going to go over the economic data. Plus, I'm going to cover today's top stories, which includes a bomb that was dropped by Elon Musk regarding Donald Trump. It was absolutely insane. There's never a dull moment in Canada or around the world. Let's go.
In business news, we're starting to see the dramatic effects of Donald Trump's trade war on our economy. The U.S. president's tariffs are crushing Canadian exports, leading to a record-breaking trade merchandise deficit in April. The value of Canadian exports plunged by its largest amount in nearly 17 years, excluding the pandemic. The month's trade deficit ballooning to $7.1 billion. That's the highest trade deficit on record. Demand for Canadian products cratered in the U.S. last month due to the tariffs. The auto sector, that was the hardest hit, with Canadian car, truck, and auto part exports to the States plunging by 23%. That number will likely grow in the coming months, with Trump's recent doubling of steel and aluminum tariffs to 50%.
Do you think it's time for our government to go on a summer holiday, or should they stay back and fix this? Today's report from Statistics Canada, the one where we got all this international trade data from, is the Canadian International Merchandise Trade for April. And we know it was a complete disaster. Now, tomorrow is a huge day. Check it out. We have the labor force survey. So what is our unemployment rate? I can't wait to review that report for all of you, and I'll provide an update tomorrow. Let's move to the real estate market in Canada. I touched on this yesterday, but let's take a look a little bit deeper. Better Dwelling came out with a report. There are a lot of doom and gloom. However, they do also have some pretty good data sets. So if you look right here, home sales in Toronto are down 13.3%, Vancouver 18.5% for the month of May. This is the weakest sales on record. And take a look at this chart. So the top part is seller's market. The bottom is buyer's market. Red is Vancouver and blue is Toronto. Both of them are in a buyer's market. And we're just getting started with all this economic data showing that our economy is rapidly going into a recession. So we're going to see further declines in these real estate markets. And it wouldn't be an episode without Elizabeth May. Like, I don't know how she got even elected. Do people not watch what she says? Jeez, take a look at this.
Water bombers won't put out most of once a fire's out of control. But you could stop it early if you could, because the nature of 21st century fire is very different from 20th century fire because of the climate crisis. It's changed fire behavior. It's made fires much harder to put out and much more dangerous for communities.
I have some data that I want to share with everybody. Hopefully she looks at some of this data. The fires that Elizabeth May are talking about are in Manitoba. Check this out. This is the Government of Canada's website. It says human-caused fires. 100 of the fires are human-caused. Total fires, 111. But get this. Naturally caused is only 6. And then 5 are under investigation. If we divide 6 by 111, that's like 4%. 4% of the fires are naturally caused. So maybe the climate change that Elizabeth May is talking about are humans literally lighting the fires. It could be accidental. There's campfires. Could be anything. We've broken glass, cigarettes. To me, climate change has nothing to do with 100 confirmed human-caused fires. It's not the planet is burning up. It's humans. Here's a meme that was posted. This is what climate change looks like. And I like this one. This is what controls the climate. A massive sun. And look, you live right there. I want everybody to check out this chart. These are all the fires that are started year by year in Canada. It could be human caused. It could be naturally caused. All the fires are captured here. This data comes from the Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Center. Don't you find it interesting that they call them forest fires, but the mainstream media calls them wildfires? How ironic. But I want you to pay close attention. Obviously, the one on the far side is really low. It's only 2025, obviously. But what I want you to see is since 1982, the amount of fires that start inside Canada has drastically gone down over time. And I've always enjoyed seeing this chart. Many people have never seen this chart before. US forest fires burn acreage. Normally they show us the 1980 onwards, and you can see that it's trended up somewhat. But if you look at the 1925 to 1955, check out how many fires used to burn across the United States and burn that many acres. We're significantly lower today if we look at a longer period. We've become very good at turning out these fires. Just for reference, this is what they actually show us. Like I told you before, 1980 onwards, you could see that the trend is going up, but I showed you the other one. If they went back to the beginning of the 1900s, yeah, this looks like peanuts. I thought this was an interesting image that shows where all the smoke is from the wildfires. It's going all the way down to nearly Florida right now. Do you want to know how good the negotiations are going between Donald Trump and Mark Carney? Check out Melanie Jolie's response.
Trump and Carney are talking. Are you any closer to reaching a deal? How would you describe those discussions?
Guys, do you really think I'll answer that question? No, but I won't answer that question. We won't negotiate in public, and we'll let the Prime Minister do his work, and we will let all ministers do their work. Thank you so much.
Based on her response, I feel less comfortable than ever before. This means that nothing is happening between that negotiation. And it's because Donald Trump is distracted right now. I don't know if you saw the major breaking news that occurred between Donald Trump and Elon Musk today. Today, Donald Trump and Elon Musk went nuclear on each other. I have done the timeline of events. We don't know what's happening here. This could be, and I'm going to show you at the end, there's a couple memes. We don't know what's happening, but they're busy going after each other. I'm going to show you the timeline, but first, this is insane. 121 million views on Elon Musk's tweet. He says, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is on Epstein files. That's the first reason they are not made public. Have a nice day, Donald Trump. Here's where all the drama unfolded. So late last night, this is where it began. House Speaker Mike Johnson texts Musk late into the night and says, Elon is dug in against Trump's big, beautiful bill. Political fallout begins. Elon is like, we're trying to doge. You're trying to spend trillions. Then Trump accuses Musk of being upset about losing EV subsidies, claims Elon is angry at Biden didn't reverse them. Then Musk replies on X, false, the bill was never shown to me, passed in the dead of night, slams Trump's domestic plan as a disguise abomination. Then Trump pulls his NASA pick, Jared Isaacman, calling him total Democrat, interpreted as a retaliation against Musk. Followed by Musk drops the bomb. That's that tweet with 121 million. That's a number that's just astronomical. Trump's on the Epstein's list. That's why he remains sealed. That's why we don't know what's in that thing, because Trump's on it. Post it publicly, make it go viral. And that is exactly what it did. It went viral. Trump threatened to pull all federal contracts from Musk, over $3 billion at stake, and Tesla stock crashes nearly 15%. 150 billion evaporates right at that moment. Musk fires back again. Without me, Trump, you would have lost in 2024. Adds GOP would be 51 to 49 without me. Raw ego versus raw revenge. Then at 4 p.m., SpaceX announces it will decommission the Dragon spacecraft, a direct response to Trump's threat. The space race just got personal. Then Musk teases a new political party, positions himself as the voice of 80% of the middle. Trump's empire has now met his rival. And check out the poll. 81% said yes, they would like that. And here's my final tweet. It says, this isn't about EVs. It's not about contracts. It's a hostile divorce between America's loudest president and its richest man. He wants control and the other one wants concessions. The spending bill is way too big. And both of them know exactly how to press the nuclear button. And that is exactly what they did. This thing went parabolic. Because this thing is so ridiculous, the internet is blowing up, and they think Elon Musk and Donald Trump are sitting next to each other saying, hey, that's a good one. And Trump's like, yeah, call me R. Yeah, the internet doesn't believe it, and nobody's buying into it. We just can't believe that these two have broken up, and this is how it's going down. Is this to revive Elon Musk's company? And I don't know what's happening. Would love to hear from you in the comment section. What do you think's happening between these two? It's a lot of drama. My last two stories. This one's going to really piss you off. David Eby does not want another pipeline in British Columbia. He has come out and said he will not be changing his mind. There's no more pipelines in British Columbia. The guy was in Japan while everybody was sitting around trying to make deals and make Canada an energy superpower. David Eby's like, yeah, forget that. There's no pipelines. Forget you, Canada. Do you see how ridiculous this is? I don't see it working. We're not going to become an energy superpower with David Eby saying no more pipelines. The Liberal government is trying to approve two bills right now. There's Bill 2 and Bill 3. Bill 2 is causing all sorts of problems. We got this one from Lines Advocate on X. Carney wants to convict people if they accept more than $10,000 in cash, engage in a business, profession, or charity. No jail time, though. They're just going to collect 3 times the cash involved. Check out this, a profession. Let's read this thing. Offense, cash payment, donations, or deposits of $10,000 or more. A profession. Check that out. It says a profession. It's not just like giving somebody from person to person. It's like, what if you did some work and you get paid this money? If it's over $10,000, oh no, that's not going to happen. And if you look down to the bottom, every person or entity that is guilty of an offense under Section 1 is liable on conviction to a fine not more than 3 times the amount of payment, donation, or deposit accepted. They're not going to go after you criminally. They just want to take your money. This is absolutely absurd. And this is the scariest part about Bill 2. We knew Mark Carney was going to go after something. Let's see what he's going to go after.
To do the searches.
Questions, comments? The honourable member for Calgary, Nose Hill.
Speaker, if Bill C2 passes, it would allow CSIS, police, and peace officers to demand personal info from online service providers without a warrant, based only on vague suspicions of potential crime or legal breaches on any act of Parliament. Whether a Canadian uses an online service, where they use it, and when they use it is personal information, and the government has not provided a charter statement for the same. If this bill combined with Bill C63, the government could target whatever the government deems to be spreading hateful content, and it would combine with C63 basically to essentially form censorship Voltron. You know, the government has not indicated what policy concerns, aside from vague references to security, these provisions are needed for. These snooping provisions are a massive poison pill that shouldn't have been included in this bill. Why, once again, as they did with C63, are the Liberals making Canadians choose between their civil liberties and their safety, and also fixing the broken immigration system that the Liberals broke themselves?
You know, they wrap these things. So the government wants to create Bill C2 says Strong Borders Act. They put a bunch of good things in there. I took a look at it. But the one thing, well, a couple of things. We saw that money thing where they're going to take 3 times the amount if you get caught transferring more than $10,000 to somebody and for professional fees. But the other thing is this censorship. They're trying to look at what you're posting online. And if you're deemed as somebody that we should be watching, they're going to watch all your stuff. And then, yeah, it's just down this slippery slope. And do we trust the Liberal government with this kind of powers? Look what happened during the pandemic, and they didn't have the special powers, and they decided to use some special powers. Imagine we gave them this. Yeah, this should concern a lot of Canadians. I don't want to see this in this bill. Just deal with the border and our safety. You don't need to add extra language. I'm glad that the Conservatives are bringing this up. Here are all the bills that they're working on right now. C1 is the pro forma budget. You know, they wanted the budget so C1's the pro forma budget. Out of all these bills, C2 is the one that stands out as problematic. There's also C3 that's something. We'll take a look at it. Here's Bill C3 in a nutshell. The Liberal government has tabled legislation that would grant citizenship to people born in a foreign country to Canadian parents who were also born outside of Canada after a similar bill failed to pass through Parliament last year. This, the very most important thing to deal with right now. That's my question. Why are they trying to ram this bill down our throats? Is this the most important thing we need to deal with? Or is it our economy? Or is it immigration? Like, fix immigration. Our economy is crumbling and they're taking a summer holiday. It's just, enough is enough. This government needs to step up. We don't want decarbonized oil. We want real oil that's just going to flow out to the other countries and make our country prosperous. All right, guys. Sorry, I had to rant there a little bit. I get frustrated when I see this kind of stuff. Anyway, that's it for my report today. I look forward to tomorrow. I got a lot. We're looking at this jobs market, and I can't wait to deliver that report to all of you. I'll see you on the next report.